What is up, Kick and Bass gang? It's your boy Morgan from FOMO, and today we're breaking down a little tech house banger ting that sounds a little something like this.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose off the boombox juice. Just like that. Get loose to this. Get loose to this. Get loose to this. Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose off the boombox juice.
If you guys want the sounds from this project or just want to support the cause of future bangers on the channel, check out the Kick and Bass store link in the description. Let's get it. Kick and Bass is an online producer community with 7 other artist coaches just like myself that post weekly tutorials to help you build your skills as a music producer. On top of that, Kick and Bass has a 500 plus member Discord community where you can connect and collaborate with other producers, get track feedback, and stay connected with like-minded artists who share one common goal. Be the best artist you can be and inspire those around you. For more information, check out kick-bass.com. Link in the description below. All right, let's just take one more listen because it's absolutely clapping cheeks.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose off the boombox juice.
Ooh.
Just like that. Get loose to this. Get loose to this. Get loose to this. Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose off the boombox juice.
Let's fucking go. Took a little inspiration from Mau P on this one because we did the vocals yesterday. If you guys want to check out that video, but I will go over these ones as well. Let's start with the kick and bass here, baby. So group processing on the kick and bass. We got bass punch and parallel. This is just a glue compressor preset inside of Ableton. Didn't touch that. Then we got saturator on soft sine. So without it. So I like to do some sort of saturation on my kick and bass just so they have some of the same color. And then you could change the mode right here. So soft sine is like just a little bit of saturation and then it just goes more drastic. And then I just pulled down the dry wet to 75. Then we have the kick and bass group channel strip, just cutting out some, let's check it out here. So this is just cutting out the lows of the kick in the breakdown. Boom. And then lastly on the group, we just have Pro L2 with the clipping BM preset. And this is just making sure it's not clipping out of the channel or coming in the red over here. Oh, and we are in Ableton 12, but I'm going to do another video on that. It's kind of sauce. So this has no gain. It's just preventing clipping. Let's take a look inside the kick here. So the kick is going to be just kick and bass kick. And then one of the key things for this guy is we're in F minor and this kick hits, the sub hits an F. So if we check it, and that's super important for getting like good cohesion between your kick and bass. And then below it, what I did, this is like a mixing and mastering trick. So if you duplicate it and then cut down the envelope, this is going to give your kick more attack. So it's just the front of it. Can probably actually turn this down like 4. So we just wanted more punch on it. So that's going to give us some more crispiness. And then there's a couple things on the sampler that I want to go over here. So if you're using sampler, you want to make sure to turn if it's like a kick drum or something that doesn't change, turn the velocity down to 0%. So this, no matter what you change on the velocity, it won't affect the volume if it's at 0, because I see a lot of people mess this up. Then we have volume at 0, and then you got to make sure to turn off the filter right here, because it might change the phase and it might cut out some stuff that you want. So, and then for the pattern, we just have a little turnaround and then a stutter kick. For the processing, we have saturator on medium curve. This is just for beef. Let's take a listen. Might pull that down as well. And then we're just cutting out a little bit of this low mids area that's kind of distorted. It's kind of boomy right there. And then I just wanted even more attack, so we boosted up a shelf here. Then cutting out more of the bullshit. So just making it fit. Then we have drums full parallel. This is just like compressing it all together. Nice and clean. This is also a preset inside of Ableton. Then we have another clipping preset just to make sure it's not coming out too hot. Below that, I just resampled the kick to do a reverse here. Let's take a listen. Those are huge, dude. Then we have the bass. Nice and simple here. We're just in the root note. And then it's kind of important how I do my bass lines. Okay, so when I record, so I recorded this vocal myself. And what I do when I start every song is I just listen to just the vocal and the kick and bass to just feel like you want your main elements to really fit together. So I just listen to my vocal and then my kick and bass to make sure they're really just like clapping absolute cheeks together. And then for the pattern, we have this note is just, I just drug it. I just drug it off the grid with, if you hold command, or wait, what is it? Shift command, you could just free drag it. And this is just adding like manual swing. So without it, it feels kind of like stagnant. Yeah, it's just like not it. And then with this, it's it. Really just drags you into that kick right there. And then this sequence repeats over here. Then we just have one F on the end there. For the sound design, this isn't doing anything. Oh, actually, quick note about this stuff. So if you don't know, you could save default MIDI tracks. So my default MIDI track has 2 compressors on it, and then an EQ and the group channel strip. And this is just going to save you time, like not searching for that shit on every channel. And then for the sound design itself, it's just a kick and bass preset from the Alchemist pack and a little bit of editing on it. So I just brought up the envelope just so it's like sustained. And then, yeah, it's just pretty simple. It's just a saw wave with a low 24 on it, frequency about mid. And then, yeah, it's pretty much just a saw wave. There's not really anything going on. Then we have this EQ8. Yeah, so this is just bringing out some of the roar in the like 100 range. So these couple of harmonics right here, just they add a lot of fucking presence. So I just like to boost those up a little bit. And then we have LFO tool, just ducking it out for the kick there. Below that, we have these toms, which are just kick and bass toms. And these just emphasize, let's listen. So these are layered on top of the bass hit right here and the bass hit right here, just to add emphasis. And it's super important to just tune all your drums. So this is a kick and bass tom, and it says it's in B. So I put it in, this one, the second one is in F, so it reinforces the F. And then this one is, let's see, 3 semitones above, so it's playing the minor second. And that's just like, it's in key, so it works, but it's just a little bit of variation, so we don't have them playing the same note. So nice and thumpy down low, baby. Let's go to percussion here. So we have a clap here. This is a kick and bass clap. And this is just gonna be layering the attack because there's a clap in a loop in the tops. But for this one, as you can see, I just did a Haas effect. And if you're not familiar with what that is, it's just like a delay. So your ears are 20 milliseconds apart in terms of how fast sound travels. So if you put it less than 20, it's going to feel like it's going ear to ear. So it's like adding a bunch of stereo width. And again, this stuff isn't doing anything. This is all just part of my default audio track. Yeah, and then claps just on the 2 and the 4, obviously. Below that, we have a fill, no processing. This is just a splice fill. Just a little bit of variation every 4 bars. Below that, we have the pre-drop fill. So with this, so this is just a splice sample, and then it just like fits super well on top of the vocal. So
boombox juice.
Boombox, the boombox juice, baby. Yeah, so the kicks obviously just layered on there. So here's a quick little tip for fills. So what I would do with this is, I'll find fills that I like the rhythm on, and then what I'll do is I'll just replace these samples with the ones that I'm using in the song. So like if I was finishing this, I would put like my kick and then my snares and stuff, just so everything is from the same kit. And then if you're having trouble doing that, you could just look at where the hits are, so you don't have to like guess while you're doing it.
Loose off the boombox juice. Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, I wanted it.
Loose off the boombox juice.
Ooh. Okay, what do we got? Then we have a crash right here. So if we play the pre-drop.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose.
So we have kick and crash, then kick and crash again.
It's time to get loose.
And then we have the crash on the breakdown right here. And as you can see right here, I have this effects rack just turned on for the break. So it's just a triplet delay, just so it continues to play the crash, and then a bunch of reverb just to fill out the space. Pretty simple songwriting there. For the build snare, I just have a kick and bass snare. Typical 909 guy, or 808, whatever the fuck it is. Then we got the cymbal group here. Let's take a listen. So for the group processing, again, everything that's like a group, I like to have a little bit of saturations on the group, just so they all have like the same, it feels like they're part of the same drum kit. So we have a little bit of overdrive here. So this is just giving it similar color, and just in the top end here with a little bit of dry wet pull down. Then we have EQ8 just to get rid of the lows because we don't need them. And there's some bullshit in this loop. Yeah, we don't need that bullshit. Then we just have a limiter just to make sure it's not coming out of the track too hot. For the top loops themselves, it's just a loop from Splice, and then kick and bass loop, no processing. This is just, again, the default, and then another kick and bass hat. My philosophy for layering is you layer until it sounds bad, because a lot of the times people like think the loop's all good, but if you layer it could be gooder. So always layer until it sounds bad. And then just a quick little thing I did for the kick and bass loop is beats mode warping. Just pull down the transients a little bit just so it's tighter. And I just mess with the pitch to get this hat fitting with the other hat. And then lastly, for the cymbals, we have a ride loop in the second part of the drop. Get loose, baby. Okay. All right, we'll get to the synths, dude. Okay, I know everybody wants to see the synths. Okay. Okay, so let's listen. Fucking nailed it on the synths. Yeah, absolutely clapping. So first up, we got the first wub here. And then this is a kick and bass preset that I just changed up a little bit. So the gist of it is FM from B, and then compressor just to tame some of the peaks. The sine fold. So this is huge when you're using FM. This is just going to bend all the frequencies into more of like a sine fold, and then it's just going to make them beefier. So whenever you're using sine FM, just look for this guy. It's kind of saucy. Then we have chorus. I dialed it in a little bit. I'm not going to get too deep into that, but just like fuck around with the knobs. So this is just giving it a lot of width. And then we have the MG low 24 with the envelope on the cutoff. This gives it the wub. And then just cutting out the lows we don't need and the highs we don't need. Channel processing, we have everything thick OTT. Maybe I'll give this away, but yeah, I made this one. So it just smashes everything loud as fuck, and then amount just at 47. I'll give this away in the future. So without this, so it just makes things more fatty. Then we got OTT gain comped. This is just the standard multiband preset with 67 amount. So again, just more presence. Pulled up the mids and highs to fill out the frequency range there. And then erosion, this is what's adding the noise. That little sizzle. So then we have EQ8 bumping the frequencies that we like. And then soft clip just to make sure it's not coming out of channel too hot. And then a little bit of reverb. And this delay, which turns on at the end of the phrase. So, oh, and quick note. Oh, let's just go over the notes real quick. So it's just root note, and then, oh, this should be, yeah, so F, and then the F sharp going into the F again. And then what we did for the F sharp is I just dragged up it just says pitch bend because it's part of my template, but so this is mapped to the attack, not the pitch bend. So it's just like a longer wub on that note, just to give it more turnaround. I think that's it for, oh yeah, we have the delay turns on at the, just to fill up the space here. Nice. And then that's going to do it for the first wub. The second wub, so whenever you get a good sound, just duplicate it and change it into something different just to add more variation. So this one goes into the first one. And then this one is just F sharp. So the minor second goes into the downbeat. And then for this one, same patch, but I just tightened up the envelope so it's more wum wum wum. And then we have a filter that filters it in. So it just comes in real nice. Let's go, dude. Okay. Then we have, let's go over the second one. So halfway through the drop, let's take a listen.
Get loose off the boombox juice.
So this one's just a little bit different. And for this one, it's just the FM is different. That's literally it. Whenever you have an FM patch, just like wiggle that around. Let's take a listen. So this preset just sounds good at every setting right here because I made it. And then the reverb thrower. So this is part of it's in the kick and bass pack too. Or I think it might be for free. The channel strip is for free on our free downloads, and then this has it in it. So the reverb thrower is just giving it a huge, just gives it a big ass room right here. Then we have the breakdown wub. So let's take a listen. And this seems like complicated, but this is why I spend so much time on the initial idea, because when you pick the right sounds from the start, you could just change them up and then they'll fill out your breakdown and arrangement for you. So this is just the same patch, but a longer note, and then I just literally put the attack up. So it's more of like a horn in the breakdown, all same settings. And then right here in the buildup, the pitch bend goes up an octave. So all the kick and bass presets are set to plus minus an octave, just so you could turn them into effects whenever you need to.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose off the boombox juice.
Okay, let's check out the pluck here. So for this guy, another kick and bass preset, I just mess around with the envelope a little bit. So the key thing with this is it's just FM from B, saw, sine, and then the bandpass is what's giving it that like nasally tone. And then I won't go too much into this because it hurt my brain. But for the MIDI, it's just root, half step up, and then so for the key thing here, I just dragged them all off the grid, like just a little bit, just to make it sound like more groovy, and it's just cheeky as fuck, dude, and that's it. Oh, for the processing here, OTT, just to bring it out. Let's listen. And then I dragged up the mid band just because that's where we want the presence. Took down some of the resonant frequencies in the middle, and then reverb rack. So this is just like a on-channel send with a super short decay, and then filtering out the highs. Just like a little room reverb there. And we just have a little bit of bounce on the LFO tool. Yeah. All right, last one is going to be this siren. So this is also a preset inside Alchemist Volume 1. And then how to make a siren is it's just coarse pitch modulation. So LFO 1 is just making this go wah. And this is just adding just movement in the background. So if we listen without it. Always got to have motion, my dudes. All right, let's check out the effects here. Super simple here. Another kick and bass preset. So all the one knob presets we have, it's just all controlled by this one knob. And this one is just a tonal riser. So you just put it in the root note, and then you just crank the one knob however long the spot you need it for, and it's just boom. And then we have a smaller version of it.
Get loose off the boombox juice.
And then we have just this one's noise effects. Again, just one of those one knob presets, and it's just white noise. So it's key to be able to control your effects, because whenever you warp them, they sound like fucking puke. So the reason I made the one knob ones is just so you could always control the amount of time that your effects last. So these are super useful.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose off the boombox juice.
All right, down to the vocals here. So I just used the inspiration from the video we did yesterday to kind of like do the same thing, but different. Let's take a listen.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose off the boombox juice. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh. Yeah, yeah.
The ooh is so good. Okay, so let's go. I actually saved my vocal process so you guys can see. So when I started, the vocal was here before, but so this is how I got the vocal inspiration here. So I went to Google Gemini, I guess is what it's called now. But so I just typed in, let's see, generate me hype hip hop lyrics like the 80s. So I just fucking look at some of these and I was like, okay, pump up the volume. I like that. And then raise the roof was somewhere in here. So I was just like, pump up the volume, raise up the roof. And then I saw boombox juice. Or no, so I was rhyming loose with something. So if you go to Rhyme Zone, I just saw juice, and we love the juice. So I was like, what word would go with that? And then I saw a boombox in here. So I was just like, pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose off that boombox juice, baby. And what I'll do is I just put down a kick drum and a top loop. And then down here is just where I did it. So if we just go...
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose.
Again, always do multiple takes because you'd rather have a perfect take than try to fucking warp it and spend a bunch of time. So let's check out the rack here.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose off the boombox juice.
A lot going on here. Let's rip them all back. All right, everything off.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time.
First, we just have the EQ8 ducking out below my voice's fundamental.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof.
Just in case there's anything down there. Then we have the little altar boy rack. And I said this in the video yesterday, but the reason why I set this up is because the little altar boy, for some reason, gives sounds stereo width, even though it says monophonic voice manipulation. And this utility is just set to left. So it takes the left channel and puts it in the center, so there's no stereo. And you could also set it to right if you want to, but for the pitch and format, it's just 3, 2.6.
Pump up the volume,
Pump up the volume, raise up.
pump up the volume, raise up the roof.
So that's just giving it that like super high tone. And then I did it again and split the chain left right to give it like a gang vocal feel.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose off the boombox juice.
So just the left side is up one pitch just to make it sound like there's two people saying it.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose.
And then it's super stereo just to give it a cool effect. After that, we have reduce ambience. So this just makes the vocal tighter. It's like a gate, so it gets rid of like any room noise that you might have.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose off the boombox juice.
Makes it super tight. Then compressor, 10 ratio, just smashing it.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose off the boombox juice.
Exciter, just like, I just pick like different, you could do any sort of saturation, but I just pick like different modes and then separate it into low, mid, high, and then just sort of mess around till it feels right.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose off the boombox juice.
But you'll start to memorize the sounds of your saturator as you use it more. So I just know that tape gives it like a super like buzzy feel. So I just do this on the top just to give it some buzz.
Raise up the roof. It's time to get loose off the boombox juice.
Always saturate your vocals because it makes them sound so much bigger.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose.
Then we have EQ8, just ducking out some of the lows here, or mids. Overdrive, 15%, just to give it more distortion.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose off the boombox juice.
OTT, just 29 amount.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose off the boombox juice.
EQ8, getting rid of anything that the saturation might have added, ducking out some of the mids here.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time.
Then we have a couple de-essers here. So if you have Pro Q, you could just you could solo the bands, and then these are just on top of all the S's. So whenever I'm de-essing, I'll just go to like juice, and then just duck out some of the frequencies we don't need. And then I did it again just to dial it in even more. And then again. So if you hold it in here, it'll show you like where some of the resonant stuff is. And then I just drag it down from there. And then after that, we have Ozone 11 stabilizer. So this is just making it super full and flat, making sure there's no resonance. It's like a manual like EQ. Or automatic EQ. So if we listen to the whole thing, it's just like levelizing it, the whole thing. Let's listen.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose off the boombox juice.
It just does like Pro Q for you. And we have limiter just to duck out any peaks.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose off the boombox juice.
And then this delay.
Pump up the volume.
This is on the pre-drop later. And then the reverb.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's
with super short decay and 25 dry wet. And then what I did from there is I just bounced it all out. Because you don't want to be... I'll play with this rack for like hours after I've already started writing. And I just like to commit as soon as possible. So I bounce this out in the other channels just so I could use it. And then the next thing is going to be the ad-libs. And if we just listen to the drop again,
Just like that. Get loose to this, get loose to this.
so these ad-libs are huge because they fill in like all the empty space in the drop. So for the ad-libs, I just did the same thing with this. So if we go, give me hype 80s hip hop ad-libs. Yeah, so it'll, these are so huge. So I just looked at some of these that I like and then just let the beat run like I did over here and then just record a bunch of them.
Get loose to this. Get loose to this. Get loose to this. Drop it. Drop it. Turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it up. Yeah, yeah. 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 Yeah.
And another side note for vocals, like, so I probably wouldn't release something like this with my own vocals on it because I just know like if I got somebody that had like a better tone for these sort of vocals, it'd sound a lot better. But this just makes it so I could just start writing like right now. And then what I could go is take these ideas and outsource the vocals to like a professional vocalist just so we have better vocals in the final product. But yeah, that's the vocal process there. And then let's just listen to these one time.
Turn it up. 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 Pump up the. 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 Pump up the volume. Raise up the roof. It's time to get loose off the boombox juice.
So for the pre-drop here, the only change from the bounce is this delay on it. So just giving it some room.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose off the boombox juice.
Then we have the build vocals. So I just took this from the ad-lib.
Turn it up, 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 turn it up.
Then we just have a delay. There's a lot going on here. We have a delay automating up just to fill up space. Then we have a little bit of washout from the group channel strip just to give it some air in the breakdown. We have this auto filter opening up.
Turn it up, turn it up.
Then for this long one, so I just did double time, like 2 or 3 different times just to fill up that whole bar. And then we just looped this part right here. Trying to get the most out of every element. And then pre-drop is right there. We have the cheeky ooh, dude. This is just a splice sample that I found yesterday. It's absolutely fire.
Ooh, ooh.
Let's go. Then we just have an ad-lib yeah right here.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Quarter note delay. Just one slap back, so there's no feedback. It's just going to play one delay with a little bit of filtering.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Add in that bounce.
Just like that.
Then we have another ad-lib here
Yeah, just like that. Yeah, just like that.
at the end of, or in the halfway through the drop. Then halfway through the drop, we also have the, instead of the yeah, it says get loose to this.
Get loose to this. Get loose to this. Get loose to this. Get
And then we cut out the to this because we like the ooh.
Pump up the volume, raise up the roof. It's time to get loose off the boombox juice.
Boom, dude. That's it for the vocals. And then the last thing is just going to be the master. So this is a key. This is very key here. So there's nothing on the master, minus the gain ducks down just to give the drop more impact. And the master is just on no gain, clipping BM preset, because the point is just pick the right sounds and mix good, and you don't have to do much on the master. So if we listen to Mau P's master, so if I were to finish this song, I could play it tonight without having to do some crazy master. So it's just super important that you guys just mix properly, pick the right sounds, because you shouldn't have to do a bunch of crazy stuff to get your songs playable. And yeah, let's just hit it one more time because it's saucy, baby.
Volume, raise up the roof, it's time to get loose off the boombox juice. Just like that. Get loose to this, get loose to this, get loose to this, pump up the volume, raise up the roof, it's time to get loose off the boombox juice.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for the Boombox Juice. Make sure to subscribe and drop a comment so we can pump up the numbies. And check out the Kick and Bass store in the description if you need some fresh meat sauce. See you in the next one. Peace.